Do you have to track calories in order to lose weight? Is it actually possible to lose weight and get in great shape without it? If it is, how to do it? And if it isn't, what to do? Does that mean you really have to do it? And if so, what is the best way? All of these things we're going to cover in this video. But before we go there, click the subscribe button, because on this channel, you're going to learn how to build a strong, healthy, high-performing, high-energy physique as a successful entrepreneur without all the BS that this industry tells you got to do, like starvation, cutting carbs, doing tons of cardio, taking steroids, and all the other BS. Thankfully, you don't have to do any of that. So click that button below and let's go. What's up, everyone? This is Coach Amir from 7figurebody.com. And in today's video, one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, Coach, do I have to track calories? Do I have to do that? Can this be done without tracking calories? Can I lose a ton of body fat, build muscle, and get really, really lean, having six-pack abs and awesome ripped body without tracking calories? Now, of course, the answer is yes. Of course, it is possible. You can do that without tracking calories. Now, of course, guys, please remember, this industry is full of charlatans and people, selling snake oil, and, coaches have no clue what they're talking about. And of course, it's very popular to say, you don't have to track calories. That's so stupid. That's for the suckers who don't know any better. So all you got to do is cut your carbs, right? This is basically what all, low carb, like keto, carnivore, paleo, South Beach, all the low carb diets, that's all they do. Just cut your carbs. Doesn't matter what else you do. Like, you can have 15,000 calories coming from fat. It's totally fine. Of course, all these people just get, even more weight gained. Of course, same exact thing is happening the opposite side of the spectrum, which is the low fat community that says just cut your fats and then it doesn't matter. You don't have to track calories, tracking food, none of that. None of that matters. Just cut your fats. Now, of course, there is a way to do this correctly, meaning you can lose weight and build a great body and keep it off without tracking calories. It is possible, but I will tell you, just like it is theoretically and practically possible to, be not deficient and have a good body and be healthy as a vegan, it is very, very, very hard. Is it doable? Yes. But is it actually in practice doable for most people? Probably not. Just like the same thing with why? Because veganism is the only diet out of all that really leaves you completely deficient in certain things. Like, you're just cutting out food groups that are the only and main source of a certain mineral or vitamin, you will be deficient. Now, of course, you have the, carnivore, which is just the opposite version of that, right? Which is really not a weight loss diet. It shouldn't be. It's for people who have severe, autoimmune disease and gut issues. Yeah, for them, maybe carnivore. But again, it's not carnivore. It's elimination diet. It's been known for decades, right? So if you have that, carnivore might be the only thing that you actually can do. But carnivore should never be used for masses and millions of people to try to lose weight, which is, of course, what it's in the marketing for it used for, okay? So going back to our topic, how would you lose weight without tracking calories? You'd basically have to guesstimate the amounts of, foods that you're eating and kind of say, okay, I got 2 servings of this and 1 serving of that, and kind of, basically focus on good food choices most of the time, which means way less flexibility in eating the foods that you actually want to eat that are usually very caloric. And you definitely need to have and can have less of those if you're not tracking it, because you don't really know. Because remember, calories to your body are just like dollars to your business. It's a currency of your body. And we know that. So if you don't track calories, you have no clue what's going on. And remember, on our own, human beings, all of us, we just have no clue how many calories we're eating. We're terrible at estimating how many calories we eat, which has been showed a million times in all the studies that basically say all the people claiming they eat 1,000 calories and they're not losing weight, they actually track them, put them in a metabolic ward where it's controlled, and they all end up eating 3,000 to 5,000 calories. So on average, 4. So you get to be overweight and obese by eating 4,000 calories, thinking that you eat 1,000 calories, right? So basically, we all suck at estimating how many calories we actually eat. That's why I believe that one of the biggest benefits and life-changing results that comes from tracking your actual food is awareness. Because we don't know, like, it's just not a skill that we are born with. We're not, like, nobody knows this instinct, like, just by instinct, we don't know this. So when you start tracking, 2 things happen. That's why I always say to all of my clients, can it be done without it? If it's literally make or break it, I will not do anything if I have to track. Okay, then we will go with it and we will just create your food around mostly, meats and, dairy and vegetables and fruit. and it's going to be not much of the other things because you just can't control them. You often go over calories and you don't lose weight, right? So is it doable? Yes, but it's much more restrictive and much less reliable to do it that way. Can you do it? Of course. Yes, you can. However, much more reliable, better, long-term in my mind is to learn the skill. Because remember, from you now and you wherever you want to go, making more money, being happier, being leaner, having a great body, there are two things. Belief, you got to believe that you can do that. For us entrepreneurs, belief is, often the first thing we focus on and we get it done. But then there's the skill. So if I know everything that I need to do, and I'm like, I know what I need to do to build a great body, but I knew that 10 years ago and I'm still overweight. What's missing? Well, two things: the skill of actually doing the things you need to do and the commitment to do it, right? So in this case, when you track calories, two things happen. One, here's what every single client of mine who starts tracking shares with me within a couple of days. Number one, oh my God, holy smokes, coach, I cannot believe how many calories I'm eating. It's number one, never fails, literally every time. That's the first thing they conclude. Why? Because they used to think, so let's say right now, and I'm asking you, how many calories do you think you eat per day? How many? What do you think? A lot of people, I don't know, women 1,500, men would say, I don't know, 2,000. Well, we now know from large scale studies, on average, an average American eats 2,700 calories in average. And again, this is probably, more or less for you, you don't know, but this is an average, right? 2,700 calories. Now, you don't know. Like none of us knows until we actually focus the time in learning. So the most important skill you can get is guesstimating the number of calories you eat without tracking them. So one most important thing that I want to mention here is you do not need to track for the rest of your life. You need to track for several weeks or months until this tracking thing becomes completely automatic. You have the skill of guesstimating how many calories. When you look at a certain food, you're like, oh, this is 300 calories or 400, whatever. And then you have that little, in the back of your mind, there's automatic calculation going on. So you know where the limits are, how many you should not go over, and anything below that is fine. So once you get that skill, case in point, last time I tracked my calories was like 2007. So 15 years ago. Since then, I've stayed in, six-pack lean shape all year long. I've done several photo shoots that I've gotten to like single-digit body fat percent, again, without tracking. How? Nothing special or magical. There's no like, oh, you're so gifted, or no, none of that. It's just a skill that I gained by tracking for a long time. Now, back in the day, like late 90s, I used to track by having a 1,000-page textbook, okay, let me find this. So it took like half an hour to track one meal. Today, with your phone, you track a meal in like 30 seconds. And your whole day, you can track in a minute or less. 1 minute per day. This is the most important skill you can gain, is guesstimating how many calories you have in a certain food without tracking it. Because eventually, as you track, after you put 10 times, MyFitnessPal, whatever other app, your brain is like, okay, dude, I get it. Like 4 ounces of chicken is 25 grams of protein. It's 100 calories. I get it. I don't need to put it 1,000 times. 10 is enough. So you learn it. And as you learn that skill, eventually you'll be able to guesstimate how many calories all the foods have, even if you don't know what the food is. Like literally, I have clients living, all over the world in all the continents, and somebody's in Panama or Nigeria or some place where like the food there isn't even in any of the apps. So they send me a picture of it. I'm like, what is it? Like, is that a fruit? Like, what is it? And they tell me what it is, and we guesstimate what it is. And of course, it works out great because they get transformed. So that's the answer. Do you must track calories? Is it absolutely necessary? No, but it's definitely better, more reliable, and long-term better, because once you learn the skill, you have it for the rest of your life. You will never need to track food again. If you track for the next 2 months or 3 or whatever, you learn the skill once, and then for the rest of your life, you benefit from not only having lost the weight, but keeping the weight off forever. Is that worth it? That investment of 1 minute per day for 3 months or 2 months or however many, I think it is. It's probably the best investment you'll ever put in your health. In all of the things that you can do, it's probably one of the best ones. The most invaluable, most important skill that you can gain is that. And in my work with private clients, this is the number one skill that we focus on gaining. The other two, by the way, are properly executing the movements in the gym or when doing resistance training. And 3 is not a skill, it's a habit of doing 8 to 10,000 steps every day. These 3 things are what I use to transform every single person. What I would use if you and I work together, these are the 3 things that I would help you build the skills of and build the habits of. And once we get there, you'll not only be in a absolute perfect shape that you want to be, but you will be absolutely equipped on fully automatic, like auto, just to keep going and keep that shape for the rest of your life, which is really what I'm after. I don't care about you losing weight. It's a given in my world. It's about you keeping the weight off forever. That is the thing that I'm really focused on. And these 3 things are going to help you do that. So in that case, should you track calories? Is there value in it? For most people, yes, absolutely. But for those who say, well, I just can't do that, it doesn't matter, let me be fat, or, I'm not going to track calories, even if that means me staying overweight for the rest of my life, okay, in that case, it certainly can be done. Is it still better to track it? Absolutely. So, hope you guys got some value out of this and you like it. If you did, please click the like and share button below. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also if you have any questions or thoughts about this, put it in the comments below. I'd like to know what you think. Have you ever tracked calories? And if you did, how did it work out? So let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.